and welcome to Gigi Creates. Today we're going to be doing some bookmarks, but these are a little bit different. I don't have any examples at the moment, but I'll show you how to make them. What you'll need is some stickers, washi tapes. Of course you could just use glue. I'm going to use washi tapes. You'll need some book pages. I'm using 4 because these are pretty thin. You'll also need, well, this is optional, some pretty paper and some thick paper or craft paper. This is almost cardstocky. So the tools you'll need are, let me get to them here. You will need an ink pad, scissors, a pencil, a paper folder, and a ruler. This is just a page to apply glue on top of. So you got your project on top and you apply glue to it. That's all this is. It's not necessary. I'm going to set all of this aside. Alright, the first thing you're going to start with, and I wanted to tell you before I forget that I will link everything that I'm using down in the description below. Alright, so now this is the time to pick how tall you want your bookmark to be. And this is supposed to be kind of a long bookmark, but not all the way to the top and bottom of this page. You can have it this tall, which is, I believe this is the size of printer paper. So 11 inches tall and 8.5 inches wide. So almost the size of printer paper. There was a little bit of a margin up here, but it had perforated edge on it, so to snap it out of the book instead of peeling it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just come right to the edge and make it the width, my bookmark the width of the ruler. You're just going to pencil in that area. So now we have this margin right on the edge. What you're going to do is cut that out. So you get your scissors and cut it out. Alright, now that that has been cut out, you're going to set it to the side. Just don't throw it away. It may seem like an off cut, but it's not. So now what you're going to do is you're going to make another one. The exact same size. They need to be the exact same size. And since I'm just using the width of the ruler, I just make that again. And then you're going to cut this one out. Alright, now that you have your 2 pieces cut out, you can put the rest of your paper back in the book or wherever you keep extra paper. So, you're going to take these 2 pieces, I'm going to set my tools to the side, and you're going to create like an over the page kind of thing. So, I'm trying to remember how I did this. I'm going to fold over a small amount on the top, like that, maybe 1/2 inch. Let's check. Yeah, it's a little under 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to cut some little triangles off of that, like that, so it's slanted to decrease bulk. So now you have like this little flap that would be on the side of a box. Now what you're going to do is you're going to, you're going to take the 2 of them and keep the end that has been fold it down, and you're going to mark, because you need to cut off an amount to make it the size that to make it equal to the other side. And don't worry if it's uneven, because we're going to fix that. So now you're going to make a cut in the middle at the bottom, like that. And then you're going to come from the corner to the top of that cut, and then the other corner to the top of the cut. Like that, to give you a clean banner-like edge. And those are my offcuts. And you could trace it out on the other one. It doesn't really actually have to be even, because you're not going to see the other side until you get to the other side of the page. Alright, now that my banner notches are cut, we can put this together. So you're going to unfold the top and stick the other piece on top, like this, to the crease. You would just apply glue to the flap, but I'm going to use washi tape today. Alright, taking the washi tape, and pick your thickest that's most non-directional. I think I like this one. So you're going to cut enough that can go over the edges. So I'm just going to make something that's about 3 times the width of my bookmark. Lay it down as even as I can. It's a little uneven, but then you're going to flip it around and fold down the edges. And the underside isn't really going to be seen that much, because it's supposed to go over your page. Alright, so this is what you should have, and it might be a little reluctant to bend. And you may notice that it's askew. Like, this is the natural way it wants to go. So that isn't going to be really a problem, because it's going to be hanging in your book, and you're not going to see both sides at the same time, so it won't seem so uneven. Now I'm going to add an extra strip down this direction to seal up this end, because it wants to come up. And I'm happy to say I did not see this anywhere on Pinterest. I came up with it myself. I'm sure somebody else came up with it that I don't know about, but if you've never heard of it and you like this idea, good. So now what we're going to do is take our stickers and our pretty paper. I'm only going to add a little bit of the pretty paper. And let me see here. Which one do I like? Let's see. Silver, rose gold, and gold. I think I like the first one on the top, so I'm going to cut a small section. And I got this paper at a thrift store, so I don't know where to tell you I bought it, but I will leave a link for something similar in the description. It's kind of like a tissue wrapping paper. So that's kind of a 4x4 shape. It's almost rectangular. And what I'm going to do is just kind of tear a little bit off. And kind of make a shape. Just kind of playing around. And if it doesn't work out, I don't have to use it. So I like that. I'm going to get my ink pad and lightly ink the edges, because I feel like anything with white edges needs to be inked. And I'm just gonna really quickly ink the bookmark itself really quick. And one thing you could do, I just thought of this, is you could rip the edges if you wanted to give it a nice rustic look. I think that would be a really cool idea. Alright, now that that is inked, I'm going to set my ink pad to the side and going to find a placement. Now these can be found at Hobby Lobby in the planner section. It's by the Paper Studio, Agenda 52. So if you want to buy some of these stickers, I've used them in almost everything. I showed this sticker in my flip through of a journal that I made in my latest video. I'll leave a link in the corner up there, a little tag, or I'll leave a link in the description. These stickers are somewhat delicate, so if you pull too much in one direction, they tear. So I'm gonna get my glue stick because I'm out of my paper glue. Oops, that one is dead. Here we go, here's a good one. I only keep these glue sticks because they're my ink daubers. So, and this is where the glue sheet would come in. Oops, I'm making a mess. This is where your mucky paper glue sheet would come in because this is a small piece of paper. Because this is paper I won't use. I would regret using book page because I actually don't have a whole bunch of books, even though a book can be found anywhere. You could buy a book at the dollar store for $1, but it's going to be bad quality because it's the dollar store. So I'm going to put this back. Alright, so now that that's down, I'm going to take my sticker. I'm going to actually get my paper tweezers because I don't want to stick it in the wrong place, and my fingers usually get in the way. Alright, so now I'm going to take this and place it right there, and then I'm going to look for a sentiment. So that's what that looks like. I'm very happy with that. It has kind of a collage feel. And the other side, you don't have to do anything with it. You can, like I might add this one. This is a vertical, or a vertical picture frame with butterflies in it. I might add a vase, but I kind of want to do something like I just did here. Maybe I'll do another piece. I'm going to throw these tiny bits away, and then I'm going to set this to the side and get a different piece of paper. And right now this is kind of like a learning experience. I'm letting myself have fun. I mean, I have fun every time I make a video, but I don't usually let myself have this much fun in my own personal time. I kind of just follow other tutorials and stuff. Like, I'm currently working on a journal, and I still haven't continued working on it. I, like, stopped working on it last weekend, and it's like, I don't know what to do with this, so... I'm going to speed the rest of this up because I don't want it to take too long. I'm going to go with this one. I think it's very pretty because it's almost like a skin tone type color. I was hoping for one of those red orange ones in there, like this one or this one right here, but I couldn't find it anywhere else, but it's there. That's the same size as the other one though. Now I'm going to glue this down and add my sticker and find a sentiment. Okay, so this is what we have. This says keep dreaming, and it's got like a little, I think it's a lily, a white lily, and this is another lily, I believe, and this one is live with joy. So they're kind of collage-y. I've never done this on a bookmark before, and I really, really like it. And this sticker was literally perfect size when I cut it in half, the sentiment. So now we're gonna get to the most important part. Now, the collage wasn't supposed to happen, but I sped the rest of that up, and, well, I am when I get to edit, but I'm filming at the moment, so you get what I mean. We're gonna add the most important part of this bookmark. So, you know how you're going along and reading your book, and you stick your bookmark in there, let's pretend this is the bookmark, and you close the book. And you're like, oh my god, where did I leave off? So you have to read like a whole paragraph to figure out where you stopped off. So I came up with this bookmark that shows you where you left off. And it does get a little tedious if you have to flip the arrow around all over the place. And so now I'm going to show you how to do it. So we're going to take 4 book pages, and we're going to glue them together. Now, glue stick isn't the best because in my experience, it peels up, so it doesn't last. It just sticks it down at the moment. So, double-sided tape is a good way. I have this double-sided tape. I have another kind of double-sided tape, but it's really thick and gel-like. It came with some kind of nail display. Like, you display your plastic nails on these little things, and this is the stand. So I found those somewhere. So I'm going to use double-sided tape and glue stick. So I'm going to get my paper for gluage and lay it down over my surface to protect my beautiful cutting mat. Alright, so now you're going to have all your pages upright, and you could just fold 2 in half, like when you glue them together you can fold them in half, and that gives you 4 layers. That's actually what I'm going to do. I forgot that I only need 2. So you only need 2. Recollection, I'm sorry. You only need 2. I'm going to apply glue to the other page here. And because the glue gets caught on the double-sided tape, so I'm going to do it on the other page. So now that you've done that, I know it's a little off, skew, but that doesn't really matter. So now, the time would be to tell you, I forgot about this as well, you should have put one page upright and the other upside down, but it happened anyway, so it's not exactly that important. But one thing you do have to watch out for now is what words are going to be seen on your piece, your arrow. And I'm just going to glue a small section, mainly the text. And now you'll notice it's all upside down. So now you're going to pick, because this says propaganda, but not quite. So this is when you'll pick which text you want. You can say that again. How about that? I'm going to pick that as my main focus for my arrow. You can make 2 arrows for one side of each bookmark, but that'd probably be confusing. But this arrow is supposed to be removable and slidable. I'll show you once I'm finished with it. So I'm going to quickly sketch a little arrow, and I'll show you what's next. And you will need to keep your bookmark on hand to check the size. You want the head of the arrow to stick out and the tail of the arrow to stick out. Alright, so that's my sketched arrow. You can just pick something, you could die cut it if you wanted. I do have a little machine that die cuts. I haven't used it in a while. So you'll see the little sketch lines on your arrow. So I have one side. You have to make 2. I'm sorry. Now you have your 2 arrows, or 4 arrows if you're making 2 arrows, or 1 arrow for each side of your bookmark. I made 1. And yeah, we already have sentiments on the bookmark. That can just show you it can be on its own like this, or you can add the extra arrow. So it's going to be like this. That's the way the arrow is going to be. One arrowhead is going to be next to the end of the other arrowhead. So it's a bit confusing, I know, but this is the way it turned out. I don't know why I wanted sentiments on both sides, but that's what happened. So now you're going to put your glue stick nearby. I'm going to open up my bookmark and draw where my margins need to be. Like that. Can you see that? Those 2 little lines by my nails. So that's where you're going to stop applying glue. You're not going to apply it in the middle, you're going to apply it on the ends. Right now I'm going to slip it onto the bookmark. The banner notches at the bottom do make it a little difficult, but I think it actually makes it a little bit easier possibly, because you can just poke them in there. And this is what you have. I'm going to grab a book really quick. Okay, I've got my book. So this is the book I'm currently reading, and bookmark I made in another video. gonna link it up there. And this is what we have. So it goes over your page like so. And let's say I stopped reading here through Judah. That's the words, through Judah. And that's where I stopped, and I can leave it there. Shake it around a little bit. And then it sticks out a little bit. You go to that page. And it stayed there. Through Judah had explained himself to me as we drove north. So, that is the bookmark that I have made this week. I wanted to show it to you because I thought it was a really cool thing, even though this is kind of awkward because you have arrows on both sides. So, that is something to think about. So, I would suggest before making anything, watching this whole video and seeing all the mistakes that I made and then doing all the rights and not the wrongs. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next week. And like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!